How y'all doing? It's Marcus Montgomery talking about Chapter 8, which is talking about our lives through 6 and 12, which is the middle age of childhood. So the topic that I picked this week is ADHD and how that can affect a child growing up. Um, I think that it's very hard to grow up as a child and have attention deficit disorder because you're having issues paying attention in classes, and sometimes you don't know how to deal with that with your emotions, and you lash out in a negative way. um, and it's different than you're different than other kids, and you need some more support. um, so this article, which is on the clinical evidence, a pretty high regarded page, was talking about how 3 to 5% of children in the United States are actually diagnosed with this and are not getting the right, and a higher amount of kids are not getting the right attention that they need. Um, this current event is still ongoing now. It was also talking about uh, what's going on in schools, how schools are shut down, and there's issues with kids not getting the right resources that they need, IEPs, different meetings that they need to be able to move on to the next grade just because of this whole pandemic. Um, uh, Yeah, so that's a big problem right now, that these kids cannot get the same attention that they were getting in classes, and the other kids, some of them just don't need that type of that attention, so they're not really being as affected as some of the kids that have this issue. Uh, Number two, identify the discussion. Yes. And then number three, your ability to show and understand and impact the current issue. I understand this, and on a social worker perspective, there are social workers that work at schools that are trying to work towards better avenues to get these kids help. Um, and I think that this definitely is a big way that social workers can advocate for these children, and it definitely helps. It definitely aligns with the thought of social workers having the thought of the 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 worth of others, because these kids definitely are worth a lot, and they need these other resources that they're not being able to get right now. And as a social worker, I think we should be, well, people that are in this position should be working as hard as they can to make sure that these kids get the same amount of education that they were getting at school, even though it's harder. Maybe having FaceTimes with teachers that are well equipped to help these kids maybe stay on task and be on focus, instead of having them actively have to um, do their work in a house setting without a person that is well trained in dealing with someone that has ADHD, attention deficit disorder, or ADD. Um, I think, and my last comments on it is that I've dealt with that issue, and it's kind of hard to be in a setting like this and be at home and uh, stay on task and do what you need, just because uh, sometimes you get sidetracked, and it's hard to do uh, what you would do in a setting where everybody is being educated. So that's my video for this week. Thank you.